Hello, let's see. How do I know if I'm live? Andre, how are we going to test this, Mama? It says I'm live, but so guys, I cannot do customize dashboard, live customize here, drag, drop modules, add columns. Okay, got it. So I cannot do the live video from my phone because I'm gonna use the phone to do my breath measurement to assess my metabolic state. So I'm gonna go first on Facebook to make sure that this live stream is actually working, because I've done it before where I recorded and it didn't work. The headsets were all staticky and stuff like that. So let's see. Yep, looks like I'm on. It didn't work. The headsets were perfect. Okay, so I can turn this off. So okay, where should I start with this one? I have a new gadget. Those of you that know me and follow my work for a while, you know that I have two sides. One is a geeky side. I like to get into the science. I like to measure, to have objective way, like scientific objective way to quantify the effects of what I'm doing. And the other side is the intuitive side, is the listening to the body. The body has its own inner wisdom and is guiding us. We don't need experts. We don't need applications to tell us what to eat, how much, how often, any of that. However, I like to put both together. In fact, I said that I have two sides. So I like occasionally to measure my blood glucose and my ketones, which I could have pulled out that machine. Maybe for another live stream, I'll do that. I use this small medical device to measure my bioenergetic field and to send frequencies to my body. I use a watch that measures. In fact, I'm charging the watch for a while. I stopped using it. Now I feel like I'm in a phase of when I want to measure and track things. A watch that measures not only, the steps and the calories you burn with exercise, but even more important, the heart rate variability, which is a very sensitive indicator of the general well-being of the person and the way we respond to stress. And the particular watch that I have, it also gives me, not only tells me where I am at with my well-being and with my response to stress, but it recommends frequency programs to use to optimize my bioenergy, because the bioenergy precedes biochemistry. It's first. So energy first, matter second. So that's a quick introduction to what I like measuring things in the scientific world. So I got a new device that, maybe I'll explain how this one works before I put it on, that measures the metabolism. In other words, human metabolism uses two fuels. One is carbohydrates, the other one is fat. And as we prioritize fat burning. Of course, we use ketone bodies as the byproduct of burning fats. But when we look at macronutrients that we acquire from food, or which macronutrients we call it macronutrients, that we store energy in our body. So from the food we get carbohydrates in the form of glucose and fats from fatty acids from our foods. And we store energy in our body in the form of glycogen, which breaks down to glucose, and in the form of fatty acids, which then breaks down. Fatty acids are used as such for energy, as well as the byproduct of burning fatty acids into the ketone bodies. So this technology, this particular little device here, is called Lumen, and is measuring what we burn as a fuel substrate by looking at the ratio between the oxygen we inhale and the carbon dioxide we exhale. And this is scientifically known for many, many years. In fact, I learned about the respiratory quotient back when I did my nutrition studies at FIU. And but at the time, up to this point when this technology came and became like a handheld device that we can use, it was not possible to do it unless you were in a laboratory setting where they would measure the oxygen you would breathe and the output of carbon dioxide. So this is pretty exciting. I'm actually thrilled that I have this device in my hand. So how do we know what we burn as fuel? We know because the respiratory quotient of carbohydrates, when the body burns carbohydrates, it generates same amount, an equal amount of carbon dioxide in rapport to the oxygen that's taken into for the combustion. And so the respiratory quotient of burning carbs is 1. Now, and that's why we say carbs are dirty fuel, because we generate more carbon dioxide when we burn carbs than when we burn fat. So fat are the clean fuel, because when we burn fat, we produce less carbon dioxide in relationship with the oxygen we inhale. So the respiratory quotient of fat is, I believe, 0.74 or 8, somewhere in there, if I remember correctly. I should have pulled my book out. And proteins is more complicated to calculate it, because when we burn protein, we generate also ammonia, which is excreted in the as urea in the urea cycle. So it's more complicated, but it's in between carbs and fat is about 0.84 something. So the cleanest fuel are fats. So even from a global warming perspective, when people try to say, oh, we have global warming because cows are farting too much or burping too much carbon dioxide. Well, how about humans? Go eat more fat so they exhale less carbon dioxide. Carbon dioxide is part of life. It's what makes Earth what it is. The idea is not necessarily to stop the production of carbon dioxide. We need that for plants, but it's to sequester. When we produce carbon dioxide and we have enough sequestering agents, we are in harmony. When we produce more than we can sequester and use, because we deforest and we use monocrops and we spray our environment and we destroy the microflora of our earth, is when we go into an imbalance. So, okay, this was a divergence, but now let's go to measuring what we burn as fuel. So this little device, I breathe through this device, and it measures, it calculates the ratio between the oxygen I inhale and the carbon dioxide I exhale. So let's do it. I am going to turn the device on first, and as you can see, it has a beautiful purple ring, which is, of course, I love it because purple is also one of my brand colors, the dominant brand color. Have an application. Let's see. So now I'm ready to take a breath, and we'll see what am I burning. Am I burning fat, carbs, or a mix of the two? And I will explain where I am like in the day with regards to food and exercise. So let's say this one is, actually I want to do it differently. I'm going to go and create my breathing signature. So this is post a high carb dinner, because last night I had mango to test this device. So I go.
Exhale in 3, 2, 1.
It's analyzing breath. Oops. What does it say? What does it say? I think it's 2. Yeah. So you see the icon there. Oh, it's hard to see what I'm doing. It pops out number 2, which means it's a meat. It's you are mostly burning fat. Next, done. So I did 67% of my breath signature. So where I am today, morning I was on 2, mostly burning fat. At 3, I'm sorry, then I went for a bike ride in the morning, fasted with only drinking water. It was a leisure bike ride because we went with Andre together, so I couldn't like go super fast. But it took us about 2 hours or more on our bike ride. So when I came back, I measured a mix fuel, carbs and fat combined after the workout. And then sometime later, still measuring a mix of, before eating, because I still haven't eaten yet, I measured a mixed fuel of carbs and on 3, around 1 o'clock, 1:20. And now I did 2 measurements post high carb dinner because it marks what I actually select in my, I don't know if you guys can see, probably not, but that's 2. So now since 1:30, I am burning mostly fat. Now, if I want to get into the deep fat burning, which is like 100% fat, not 6, now I believe it's 60 to 80. Let's see, I took a screenshot of their explanation. Okay, guys, I'm showing you right. So level 2 is 63 to 80% burning fat for energy. That's how I woke up in the morning. That's how I am right now. Burning both fat and carbs for energy is 42 to 60% fat as fuel. And then deep fat burning would be 84 to 100%. That would be level 1. So far I was not on level 1. My prediction is if I continue to fast, my next measurement is going to be on level 1, because the longer you fast, especially after you exercise. So the reason my numbers are the way they are today is because yesterday when I got the device, I was in my usual low carb meal, after my low carb meal, and I was measuring level 2. Then they said, do the carb challenge. So I said, okay, I'm going to do a carb challenge. And they recommended about 60 grams of carbs. So I had mango, about a mango and a half, like a big size mango. And I estimate probably around 70, 75 grams of carbs. And that was carbs that now I'm still burning through. So I exercise fasted. I'm still, and I was burning carb and fat, right, as a mix. And now it looks like the carb availability as a fuel is going down, and I'm moving back into burning mostly fat. So if I was to continue my fasting for another maybe 4 or 5 hours, then I would be able to see if I get into the deeper fat burning. I might do that. I will share with you guys if I do it, or I might go and eat. I don't know. I'm starting to get a little bit hungry. It's almost 2 o'clock. So my last meal was the mango last night at around 7:30, I believe. So if right now I'm in the close to the 18-hour fast, something like that. So that's it. I wanted to share this with you because anytime I learn about something new that's beneficial, that helps you get inspired to take care of yourself. And it's a tool that keeps you motivated and engaged in your self-care. And again, you have objective way of measuring the efficacy of what you're doing. You get to have more insight into your body. I already know when I burn fat, when I burn carbs, the way I feel, based on my hunger, based on my performance, all of that. But it's nice to also have an external validating factor. And for people that are new at this makes the journey so much more easier. So same it goes for measuring your blood glucose levels. You can use the continuum glucose monitoring system is super, super powerful to get the insights into how sleep, exercise, diet affects the blood glucose in your the levels of your glucose in your blood. So is to measure you can use the breath analyzer for your ketones, or you can use the blood, the finger stick to measure ketones, which probably I will go and measure it right after this video just for curiosity to see how this correlates with the. Last night I did measure my ketones were 0.2, so I wasn't quite in a nutritional ketosis zone. 0.5 to 5 is a good place to be, where you know that you are burning efficiently carbs for fuel, so you are fat for fuel, so you are generating ketones. But that's also a hit and miss, because you can measure right after you just depleted your ketones because you were using for a certain activity, or you are not deep enough into the fat burning where you have high enough levels. So that's why it's nice to have multiple ways to measure and track your progress. So it's fun to do that periodically, and to kind of reinforce what you're doing, so then you continue with that, so you don't have to log and measure all the time. You just go and eat intuitively, because now you know your body, and you already prove to yourself that yes, what you are doing, it's actually what you're feeling and knowing of your body is actually also shown by various way of measuring objectively. Oh, I see I have comments. Oh my gosh, Valerie, yes, it is super cool. Super, super cool. I highly recommend this one. And guess what? More than one person can use it. We already created, right, on different applications. So let's say in a family, everybody has a phone or an iPad. Each person can create their account and use just one device. It's nice in a clinic. The only thing with regards to clinic, these are not disposable, so you would have to use alcohol wipes to clean it before you would use it with the next person. Danny, yay, beautiful. I miss you too. I'm glad you joined me live. So if you guys have any questions about this, or about this beautiful frequency generating device, it's like I feel like I'm in heaven. I wish I could turn the camera, but I can't right now with my laptop. I cannot turn the camera, but you would see. Actually, maybe I will show you like this. Do you see? Can you see the big box up there? Yep, that is my infrared sauna. The sweat sauna, car sauna days are counted. I'm going to soon enter into my own infrared sauna. I really feel so blessed, so grateful for technology to put science and spirituality together at all levels. This is the ultimate self-care and self-empowerment message I have for you. Use technology to your advantage, but don't let technology rule your life, and prioritize self-care. Take 100% responsibility for what happens in your life. You are 100% in charge of everything. You can change you and only you, and it begins with your mind, and it ripples into your physical reality. That's all I'm gonna say. Thank you for coming. I don't see any comments, other comments I should say. I will end this live, and I hope it was beneficial. Actually longer than I thought, 19 minutes. I will share, I probably could have shared while I'm live here. I have no idea, because I don't live stream too often from my laptop, but I guess I will do this maybe more often. Have a beautiful weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.